Welcome to Board Gems. In this video, I will compare the Corné van Moorsel game Gipsy King, recently republished as Waddle. The original Gipsy King came out 2007. It was self-published by Van Moorsel's company Cwali. This is sort of a standard, thin, long-ish box of theirs. It's not terribly large. You can see it's even smaller now is this Waddle, which is the new version published by Allplay. In their, I guess they have a very, very small box line. This is their small box line. Many of their games in this line have simple rules, very easy to teach. Definitely Gipsy King falls into that category. The original was multilingual. The Waddle is in English only. Gipsy King is listed as 30 minutes, Waddle 15. Very good reason for that, because in Gipsy King you actually play through the game twice, but reversing the order of play at both times. In a Waddle, they removed half the game, basically. I would have liked it if Allplay had included the old way to play as an official variant in the rules. It is certainly easy to play that way, but I wish it was in the rulebook. But of course, Allplay's rulebooks are famously brief and no words are wasted. Multilingual Cwali rulebook, very typical. I often miss rules when I read the Cwali rules. I think the first 2 or 3 times I played it, I got at least one rule wrong. Like if I play 3 players and I forgot to double the value of the fish for a 3-player game. Some of those I wish it kind of stressed a little bit more. Pretty short rule book. It is a very simple game, and as I said, no words wasted, but also no room for the variant to play the old way, which makes me very slightly sad. On the left is the scoreboard. It has a little aid on the bottom to help with the triangular scoring of adjacent caravans. The score track snakes, which might be a little unintuitive to some people. On the right, instead, Allplay, which is relatively standard for them. They have a dry erase board in which you can record the scores. This is double-sided. This side shows the expansion content as well, which are alternate ways of scoring points, but the back side doesn't have that. There is room in the box to have 5 double-sided player aids. Interestingly, that triangular scoring for adjacent penguins/caravans tops out at 8 in Waddle. It tops out at 10 in the Cwali edition, but in the Allplay edition, it only tops out at 10 in the 2-player game. Otherwise, 36 is the maximum number of points you can get from adjacent caravans. Here are the caravans/penguins. These caravan pieces from Cwali are huge, and it really feels like sort of a deluxe version of the game. On the one hand, it's a little disappointing to have cardboard instead of wood, but I remind myself, I like wood, particularly when you have to pick up and move pieces that have already been placed. If a piece is placed on a board and it stays there for the rest of the game, it doesn't need to be wood. Cardboard is fine. I just don't like having to pick up or move cardboard. So don't give me a cardboard scoring token. That's horrible. But these, once you place them down, you never move them. So cardboard is fine. You can see each of the player colors has a different presentation of penguin. So colorblind issues should hopefully be avoided. So in the old version, you would have to keep track of player order because players can place a caravan and then they get moved to the back of the line. But if somebody passes, they get moved to the side and the first one to pass is going to be first to go on the next turn. And I always make mistakes when I do this. So this is a very clever setup from Allplay to have these slides. And it's thematic too, right? They're sliding down the ice. And as players place a penguin, you move their marble to the back of the same chute. And as players pass, you move their marble over to the other chute. Not pictured is you have a little token in the front of it to show which is the active chute and which is the one for the next turn. The only thing is the marbles do get stuck relatively easily. You may want to prop it up so it's a little bit steeper. And also there was cardboard inside these chutes, which you have to punch out, but the flash that remains, the marbles can get caught on them. So you might want to try to, buff that out. The rest of the photos are the tiles. Now the first thing I want to point out here is look at this 2-tile. All the tiles that look like this have been changed in Waddle. One weird thing about Gipsy King is that based on how you orient the tiles, there can be some spaces that are not adjacent to water. And the rulebook kind of dismisses them. It's like, oh, after all the water holes have been surrounded, then you just do any remaining spaces. But in what order? Because they're not numbered at all. And the order matters because you need to know whether to put one down or pass. And if you pass, you're going to be going first for which of the next spaces, right? So Allplay neatly corrected that. There is no space on any of the tiles that is not adjacent to water. The other big change is fish. So there's two ways of scoring. There is the fish, and which you get for surrounding lakes, and you get points kind of exponentially the more caravans you're able to get adjacent to each other. It can often be the case that caravan scoring is much more valuable than the fish scoring. It feels like it should drive more of the game, but there's so few spaces that have fish and there's so few fish points to be had that it just seems like an under-realized part of the game. Allplay really cranked that up. You can see more of these tiles have fish on them, and the values for the fish are greater. In Gipsy King, you played with 12 tiles in a 2-player game, and all 15 tiles in a 3 to 5 player game. Instead, Allplay comes with more tiles, a total of 20. You play with, I believe it's 13 in a 2-player game, 16 in a 3, 18 in a 4, and 20 in a 5. Another good change. 5-player games of Gipsy King are crazy crowded. Thanks for watching! Older games like Gipsy King, now Waddle, are still good. Even though newer games come out, these reprints can be awfully darn good as well. Take care.